2016 was a year of upset, dominated by politics.
This is a more fundamental choice about who we are as a people.
A historic election that ended in triumph for Donald Trump.
I know we have still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling.
Ours was not a campaign, but rather an incredible and great movement.
Hail Trump!
Brought bigotry and misogyny to the forefront of the national conversation.
We, sir, we are the diverse America who are alarmed and anxious that your new administration will not protect us.
And threatened to upend the legacy of a historic presidency. Across the ocean, a similar populist wave led to the vote that now threatens Europe's fragile fabric.
The British people have voted to leave the European Union, and their will must be respected.
Social media brought us scenes of outrage and alarm, from Syria to the streets of Minnesota.
Please, officer, don't tell me that you just did this to him. You shot 4 bullets into him, sir.
Our fathers and mothers are killed, and we can't even see them anymore.
A government wrested back control on live TV on the streets of Turkey, while another continued its race for a nuclear bomb. The battle to free Mosul began. Chilling attacks forced Europe to accept terror as a part of daily life. And gun violence continued to invade our safe spaces.
I don't know, we're hearing gunshots like crazy. Okay, hold on the line for Orlando Police Department. Try to get yourself somewhere safe.
And yet, amid the chaos, ordinary citizens were reimagined as heroes. We remembered those who had sacrificed their lives
to save the lives of his fellow soldiers.
And were reminded how far we've come.
I wake up every morning in a house that was built by slaves.
We said farewell to music icons, princes, legal giants, revolutionaries, and champions.
I am the greatest.
HB2 has got to go!
Some fought in public for privacy.
We have a responsibility to help you protect your data.
Others dug in for a larger cause.
Standing Rock, North Dakota is the epicenter of the attempt to save the ecosystem from the fossil fuel industry.
Political statements were made far from the campaign trail. Athletes kneeled in peaceful protest and rose again and again to the occasion.
He's immortal now!
Even defying gravity to become a testament to perseverance.
Dear refugee athletes, you are sending a message of hope.
A century-old curse was broken.
And the Cubs have finally won it all!
Impossible odds were beaten.
5,000 to 1 odds of clinching the title.
Nations work to protect what we have on Earth. And a mission to map an uncertain future came to a safe end.
Scott Kelly, as you just said, returned after 340 days in space.
In 2016, it seemed that long simmering fissures erupted into massive divides. And so when we shared our losses,
And love is love is love is love is love,
our hopes and our dreams, it felt more precious than ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first American to orbit the Earth,
Glenn takes his place
John
on
Glenn.
Starship 7, looking towards the unknown.
It's the latest now in Flint, Michigan, and the water crisis there.
At times, it seems like the forces pulling us apart are stronger than the forces binding us together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have detected gravitational waves.
Illuminati mess. Paparazzi, catch my fly and my cocky fries.
Opioid addiction is now officially an epidemic.
You lose 100 Americans a day from overdoses of prescription medicine and heroin.
In 9 months, I went from smoking weed and storing pain medication in my dorm room at Center College to being homeless and shooting heroin under a bridge.
The British people have voted to leave the European Union.
There's mass hysteria at the moment.
Those on the losing side of the argument, myself included, should help to make it work.
Today marks the most deadly shooting in American history. Some 50 dead
reported in Orlando.
The shooter targeted a gay nightclub he frequented.
We've taken a lot of steps forward, and something like this just makes all those steps be erased.
And love is 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 love cannot be killed or swept aside.
Rodrigo Duterte was elected president of the Philippines in May on promises of waging a, quote, bloody war on drugs.
I'd be happy to slaughter him.
Breaking news out of Turkey, where tensions remain high this morning after a night of explosions.
President Erdogan called into Turkish television using FaceTime and urging people to flood the streets and resist the coup.
More than 10,000 civil servants have now been fired after the July 15th coup attempt.
The question among terror experts is not will there be another terror attack, but when.
Please don't tell me that he's gone. Please, officer, don't tell me that you just did this to him.
Philando Castile and Alton Sterling were shot and killed by police within a day of each other.
Rallies and protests across the country in response to the violence seen during the sniper-style takedown of officers in Dallas.
Pray and hope that this never happens in America again.
This election must be about bringing our people together.
And I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my words.
I'm not going to pay for that wall.
And just as with our founders, there are no guarantees. It truly is up to us.
The WHO today rejected a plea by 150 health experts who argue that the games risked speeding up the spread of Zika globally.
The most decorated athlete in Olympic history is calling it quits by hanging another gold around his neck.
Millions of people worldwide are hunting for Pokemon everywhere around them, but it seems there are some places anyway that players, they can't go.
How sweet it is. After 108 years, the Cubs win the World Series.
Next tonight, a star quarterback's refusal to stand during the national anthem.
This country stands for freedom, liberty, justice for all. And it's not happening for all right now.
I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
And I can't believe that I'm saying that a candidate for president of the United States has bragged about sexually assaulting women.
And in a stunning upset that reverberated around the world.
Donald Trump won with 306 electoral votes, even though Hillary Clinton got nearly 2.5 million more popular votes.
This political stuff is nasty and it's tough.
But please, never stop believing that fighting for what's right is worth it.
That girl is a real crowd, please.
Thousands fled Aleppo after government forces recaptured large portions of the city from rebel fighters.
Tens of thousands of terrified civilians are streaming out of eastern Aleppo on foot.
The UN Weather Agency says 2016 could break the record for the hottest year since they started keeping track in the 19th century.
Eventually, history suggests there will be some doomsday event.
The path this country's taken has never been a straight line. We zig and zag.
For many, many thousands of years, people had looked up and wondered about what was up there.
The alternative is to become a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species.
And we must consider ourselves among the most fortunate of all generations, for we have lived at a time when the dream became a reality.
I hope you would agree that is the right way to go. Yes?
No one understood what's going on. People were running everywhere.
The uncertainty of Brexit, we don't know what's going to happen.
We are a more divided nation than we've ever been.
And that officer that was next to us, he ran toward the shops.
People start screaming. Everybody gets on the floor.
It's completely tragedy and misery in Syria.
Let's go out and do something we'd never do.
Love does not despair.
'Cause I feel like I can do
Love gives us hope
anyway.
that change is possible.
My head is spinning and my feet off the ground when I can't stop dancing like no one's around. And yet I think we were born to shine. 'Cause the stars are down when they're compared to.
If you take away the labels, you realize that we're far more alike than we are different.
And close their eyes.
Come out.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
We don't have to try, 'cause the brighter than fireflies are gonna light the sky.
And love is 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 love. Cannot be killed or swept aside. Now fill the world with music, love, and pride.
Light the sky.